Alright. So question number 1.
The 3-view diagram.
Based on the 3-view diagram, given the dimensions of a geometric object on the right,
Surface area of the object
surface area of the object is... Ah!
What is that noise?
Oh yeah, this is easy.
Don't say that, I've got no clue.
Yeah.
It's what?
Well, it's all to do with pizza, isn't it? Pie, pizza.
The volume of the cylinder and the volume of the sphere on top, right? So is that...
What is that, a sphere? Or is it just a circle?
It has to be a sphere.
We're told this is the easiest.
Because if it's the top view, you imagine you just see the top of the circle, but then from the front view you see there's that and there's something underneath it.
Well, unless you're looking at a 2-dimensional picture. Which we are.
Do you actually know what
Then
you're
that's not
talking
really
about
a top view, is it? Because then that means it's like that. That means that somehow magically it just distorts itself into another plane of view. It's not Inception. It's a maths question.
Work out the volume of these Penrose steps.
Oh god, not tan questions. I'm just gonna
Sine, tan, cos.
No, we only have to do one.
No, yeah, exactly.
We'll choose one that's slightly easier.
Does anyone actually remember the equation for working out the volume of a cylinder? Because I can never remember.
Cylinder was the one I always
half
looked up.
pi times the height or something. Well, like half the diameter times pi times
It's
the height.
essentially
I can't
what?
actually remember. It's been 5 years since I did maths.
It's the area of the circle times the height, right? Or the width. That's essentially what it would be.
The area of the
So add
circle.
the
diameter times pi times
Yeah.
height or something. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is.
So I'm going to say D.
Because for guessing reasons.
A factory got its number of staff decreased by 20%. How topical. And the production increased by 20%.
Topical.
What is this propaganda?
Last year in China, production went up 60%.
Then the working efficiency got increased by blank. So it's what? X minus...
Yeah.
Nope. Okay,
Making
so you've got
sense in
the
your head.
number. You times it by 80 over 100.
What are you doing?
I think you times it by 80 and divide it by 100 to then get
What a working
like
efficiency.
80% of what that would be, and then you I don't know.
No idea.
Give me numbers.
You have no idea, man.
Give me numbers, not abstractions.
And that's the end of the exam. I think we got 2%.
Yeah.
Goes.
So basically, what we've learnt from this maths exam is that English people should not be allowed to go to English universities because we're clearly underqualified to do so.
Because we have to do a maths exam to get into university. But in conclusion for the whole test, what do you think?
I think
Bunch of buttons.
I think this is an unnecessary level of maths if you're not doing maths-related subjects like physics or engineering.
I was going to say it was rote learning, but then I thought, why would you?
If this is rote learning, this is an obsessive level of rote learning that you just don't need.
So, gentlemen, let's start.
Okay.
And comments can be addressed to the camera, not to us.
What is this? They lived in New York.
You operate to
Okay. Let's do this.
I don't like either of them very much.
It's got to be any, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes! Score! It is used when choices are made. It was a cold winter night.
I'm guessing. For example, on Christmas morning, children are excited about working. No? Is that wrong?
Victorian times.
This is an essay about British culture, not about the language.
And this is for Chinese students, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
And then
To work.
this is terribly done as well. There's not even like a split in terms of paragraphs to make you understand you're going on to another subject.
If this is a Cambridge exam, I'm going to be very, very annoyed.
Is it?
Oxford would never make this mistake.
Better not been pulled from the Cambridge website because it doesn't look like it.
Nearly 5 years before.
Well, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Nearly 5 years before.
I feel like American English is what they're learning though.
Yeah.
Purely
that's
because of
the
bloody
thing,
Microsoft
in China
Word.
they do.
That
they do make
annoys the hell out of me. You know, when you have Microsoft Word and they're like US English. No, just wrong. It's just English, and they just do it badly. This whole thing needs to be done in 10 minutes.
Right.
Even for an English person looking at this, I'm so baffled by how terribly it's written that it would just take me about 30 minutes to get my head around it.
Yeah, I think I'd just be so annoyed it would take me too long to do it.
I'd spend half the exam writing a petulant letter of complaint because I'm that English.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where these came from, but they're not a Cambridge exam.
No, the Chinese government. No.
The Chinese government.
In which case, whoever's writing this exam for the Chinese government
they were-
needs to learn English to a higher standard, and they also need to cut out the... I mean, I realise it's difficult for an English language paper because the English language is by nature like this, but they need to cut out examples where you could have multiple possible answers, because that just confuses the hell out of everyone, especially if you're not familiar with the language.
I agree with the English exams, but they should be getting this from Cambridge. They should be doing something like IELTS, which is an English exam, or the CAE, or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like it helps when you're giving an English exam to kids who don't speak English to actually make sure the paper is written by someone who has a good grasp of English.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like learning a Latin-based language where it's very rule-based and formulaic, and it's quite difficult to mix up words contextually, because obviously, like in French, they have different word endings, so if you did that, you're an idiot, pretty much. Whereas in England, we don't have that, and, you know, a lot of how words are used is context-bound, rather than based on the structure of the word itself. And so I feel like it's an incredibly unfair paper to give such a generically, pretty much unusable exam paper to kids, and then going like, yeah, the entire future of you going to England and studying in an English university is dependent on you doing this bullshit exam, which doesn't make sense, which an English speaker would just look at and be like, "Bleh?"
It's pretty tough, isn't it?
It's a tough old life.
Tough enough. There we go. Concluded.
Conclusion.